us a little bit of feedback. But obviously you can check out the brackets yourself by heading over towards our website, which is, I believe...
Battlefield-ems1.com.
There you go, nailed it.
Got it.
He's
I got your back.
All right, so coming back to us, obviously, I want you guys at home to get involved as well. As we said, it's going to be Yoki up against EnRo Griffins. If you guys aren't aware of those two, they're pretty good teams within their own rights. We're going to head straight into game. Let us know if the audio is a little bit too loud, if it's a little bit too quiet, and we can try and sort things out for you. But for now, let's head straight into the game. Why don't you take us into this one and just kind of explain what we're going to be seeing here, because it is domination, it is on Zavod, and we are underway.
I'm actually just trying to figure out which teams are on what side. So we're actually going to have EnRo Griffins going to be on the Russian side, Yoki going to be on the US side here. And this map, I don't know, you and I have played it quite a few times. It's actually really enjoyable, but what we have to say about this map is you cannot go on the roofs. That is the one rule we have on this map, and actually Siege of Shanghai as well, because it gives you an unfair advantage. But as we can see over on just the general map real quick, we do have a 2-cap lead already in favor of Yoki starting this one off.
Yeah, indeed. Yoki are doing the damage now. I used to actually be in a team with Koa, so I know how this man thinks. He's extraordinarily tactical, highly ambitious aimer as well. He gets it done. And they're really locking out the seaside, but I think they might have just lost out on that one, so that will be switching over into the other hands of the team. I think we just turned that down a little bit, so hopefully that's a little bit better for you guys. Keep letting us know. Obviously, it's the first time we'll be streaming this officially in this room in a proper capacity, so hopefully that's a little bit better for you. But as you can see, the swing around of the control at the moment, A and C now in the hands of the Russian side, which will be EnRo Griffins, and they have the advantage here.
And I really want to go over the lineups real quick before we fully get into this, just to kind of show you, because we will be seeing these teams play week in and week out for the next 3 to 4 weeks. We have Bad for sure on the EnRo Griffin side, Keed, Minix, Lazem, and I'm going to call him Gook. I'm going to call him Gook for that one. Let's see if I have a better... Love Gook? Okay, and over on Yoki's side, we have Zealot, Kawa, Obs, Frantic, and Bite Mia. And we do have A actually being contested right now. Let me go ahead and switch over to that, because like we said before, we're just getting used to the setup here we have in this studio and just trying to make sure we can give you the best quality possible. But as you can see, A is already being retaken over for EnRo Griffins.
Yeah, and EnRo are really getting their teeth into this one. It's pretty damn hard for these guys to break back in. We can see EnRo, they're just firmly locking down this site now. They've got it in control. They might start looking towards B, or they could be quite happy with just A and C at the moment. They're obviously in the lead at this point, but can they control these sites now? Can they control the opponent and just keep them in towards that B site? Koa there does pick up one, so he's chipping away at the opposition, but obviously these guys do respawn. This is no Call of Duty or CSGO. This is Battlefield, and right now we are seeing the push going in from Cade there. He does take down Frantic on the side. They're going to be claiming back C. Oh, he's just got taken down in the last couple of seconds there, and we're going to see this one if it goes back into the US's hands.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if there's any work on that B side as well on the outside, because remember, this is a best of 3, and the way the point system works is whoever has the most tickets on either side, pretty much, assume you're the EnRo Griffin side and you have 85 tickets remaining at the end of this round. If the other team drops below 85 points, they cannot possibly win, because you will have the higher ticket number in the end through that one. So you will win the first map, but obviously, just like I said, it is a best of 3, so either way, it could go anywhere. But right now, we still just have that 2-cap for Yoki, and you were saying before, you know the players of Yoki, or at least one of them, and you know how good they are and how much they actually put in time into this game to know everything they possibly can about it.
Yeah, that was the biggest threat to Koa when he used to be in the Call of Duty team with me. He was so keen, so self-assured with his tactical calls. It was so impressive. So we are seeing the tick again extraordinarily close, 75 to 72 points at the moment. C is being contested between both sides. It was previously in the hands of the US team, which is Yoki, and now they're going to have to think of a way back in. They're still being very cautious around B. They've generally held this point, and they don't want to push out too far from this. So you can see that that's got one player there. He's going to be the anchor almost. He is their saving grace. They're looking like they're going to head back towards A. Let's spin over there and see if we can get a little side. They are pushing in from 2 sides, and they're looking to challenge. Most of the Russian side are kind of keeping their eyes on the lower point, but right now Zealot is breaking through. He's taken down one, and they should be able to cap this one out. He does have a couple of teammates down and out, but hopefully he can get some backup. Koa's gone down. He knows there's going to be a point to be contested here. They've got it in their hands, but for how long? Nicely played. They're taking down Keed on the rotate, and they can lock these two down if he can keep his hands onto this side.
And right now, B is actually being contested on the outside. You see him finally get taken down, but I do have to say, I'm quite surprised at how close this game has gone on so far. And, these teams, we actually have EnRo Griffins currently, they're 14-8 within the A series. Yoki is 8-2. Both of them very, very skilled, where EnRo Griffins is number 3 on the ranking system. But right now, within Battlefield 4, all of these teams are just so damn close in skill that you really don't know who could upset who at any given day. And 64 to 52 tickets already so far in this one. It kind of shows you how that one's going. But Kawa now looks like they want to set the mark on a C, as you just saw him place the attack marker on that one. But all they have currently right now is B, and they need to get something back if they don't want to lose this bleed anymore.
Yeah, they're going to have to get back. C seems to the point they want to be hitting because B is now being contested. That was he was waiting for. He knows this could be a play. He takes down one. That's Elgv, or whatever his name is, has gone down. But there we go. A quick exchange. He hasn't got the backup. They're going in drips and drabs, which is very unlike them. They're going to have to try and fight back for B. I think they've just about controlled the threat there. There we go. They've got two players rather than the one, like usual. But you can see immediately the Russian side pushing back in. They're not allowing them an easy hold on B, but they've got a good spawn coming in for that A side.
Yeah, they got a good squeeze coming here, a good pincer move. Looks like they should be able to take this one back very quickly. And while they were doing this, the rest of EnRo Griffins were over towards C. And a good shot coming out of Ops right there. Gets a nice kill, gets a defense as well, locks that one down. And now B on the outside being contested yet again here.
Yeah, B is being contested with one player spawning and trying to get themselves towards. They've got 2 against 1 here. They need to get on this B side pretty damn quickly. Let's see if they can hold this one down. It's Zella going back in. They've stopped it in its tracks. He knows there's going to be a play here. Might have just moved away. He's still conscious there's going to be someone way around. The nade spam coming through. Keed is literally steps away. He knows he's so close. They're going to hold B for now, but he needs to get into the site pretty damn quickly. His teammates are nowhere to be found around him. He's got one now spawning back in on the right side. He's just spotted Keed. Does get a tag. Gets the frag in the end, and they will be able to at least lock down for now the B side.
And for how long? As you do see him finally pick up another kill as well. He's definitely holding on to that one. But as you see, C was taken in the meantime. And right now, the rest of EnRo Griffins, what's happening here? They still have a ticket lead coming into this first half. But they need to pretty much stock up as many points as possible. You see Menix picks up a kill right there. Going to be working over towards as he actually does spot Obs. Going to be going for the kill. You're going to be pushing it in just a second. And the nade even going to come out. It's actually going to take him down. And a great hold coming in by Yoki right there.
They have to hold this down. We can't stress it enough because they're at such a disadvantage. It's ticking away. The ticket bleed is, against the Russians, but look, straight away, Keed is getting in towards the site. They're going to try and turn around A. It's so hard to take this one back if it's locked down, but they had the advantage after picking those kills up, and this could mean real pressure. C now under pressure as well. This means trouble for the US side. They could lose out right here, and now they've contained the threat at C. They got B as well. They've left A. They've just exchanged pretty much on the sides, and the ticket bleed does continue to work against the Russians.
Right now, we do have EnRo Griffins coming in from the side. Gook is able to pick up a kill. Looks like they want to be able to contest this one back, but the ticket lead has finally evened up for both these teams for the first time this game, except when it started off. But it looks like he actually is going to get taken down, and Yoki once again hold down this B side, and they are going to be able to hold on to the scap. But no, Lazlo's there. He picks up a kill. He's going to be looking for a second. Actually, in the meantime, there is no one else there except one man who's right behind that tank. But either way, they're going to get that one, and this one's going to come down to the wire.
This is really going down to the wire. These guys are going to have to fight tooth and nail to get back into this. And you can see Lessem, they're just playing a more defensive role, trying to keep onto that B side. You can see the likes of Yoki are going back towards A now. They're going to have to stop this one. The points are looking a bit dire for them, 16 to 21. They're going to try and swing back on A. He should get this. I don't see anyone contesting it too quickly. There's one player on the site, however, waiting for him to move off quite possibly, and he's played it perfectly. The A side is not in their control. 18 to 15. This is a perfect first game.
Yeah, with the way the time comes down right now, if you can get this cap, you should be able to hold on to it long enough. But 16 to 15 now is a ticket lead. We do see Menix get taken down, but the rest of EnRo Griffins coming from the side, able to get him back alive here with that revive. And they're going to look to take down Obs here and lock this one down. But Obs gets the kill, but he still gets taken down. And that should mean the A site will be held on to for EnRo Griffins. And potentially, with the way it's going right now, it should be the game.
It should be.
Sorry, the half in their favor.
But it's an extremely close one. That's the thing. They haven't stopped. They haven't given up. Keed getting back in towards the A side. He should be able to cap this one out, I believe. I don't see anyone really contesting. He has his teammates spawning on him. The ticket, bleed is still working against them now. You can see B and C are in the hands of the opposition. Lessam is leading the charge towards the B side. He spotted down one. That's Obez just playing a real defensive turret there. Drops out the nade. Nade comes back, though. 7 to 5. This is going right down to the wire.
Wow, this is really going to come down to the last moment here. Both these teams, let's check out where they're exactly going. EnRo Griffins focusing on C. They leave one man back over A, but look at this man. Cow is going to be going in, trying to take this A side, but it won't matter either way. They will be able to get this first half.
Wow.
However, a 5-point lead in the first half isn't the best thing you want, because if you think about how it's going to go now, if they can get EnRo Griffins down below 5 points, then they have the win. But that is really hard to do. Like, either way, with the way these two teams played, there is no clear-cut winner.
No, not at all. Bad for sure, 22 to 14, very impressive. But look how even the kill to death is over on the Yoki side. It wasn't about one player, overly stepping and becoming this beast of a machine. It's all about that team play element, and these guys are so damn good at that. And that's what kind of gave them the win there, or at least by a very small margin. Whereas the EnRo side, they just kept getting locked out. B was always in the hands of Yoki. Then it was very rarely contested. If it was swung around in a couple of seconds, and just A and C coming back and forth. 4th. It was so close there, and just by the end of it, yoki just edged ahead by locking it down. I think we can kind of think back to Obes there, the way he was sitting inside the tank, literally being a turret, almost baiting himself, but he's in such a good defensive position, he can just kind of prone or like crouch down, spam up, spam down. He doesn't need to challenge straight away. He was in a great place, and they worked it out. But still, 5 points is not a lot. It can still all very much change.
I like the way yoki actually used their spawns as well. They constantly always had a guy at B, but when it got retaken, they would always have a man to be able to get there back in time. And not to mention the pincer move they were able to pull off over at A multiple times. I see people actually saying the audio in-game is not loud enough, so I will turn that up for you real quick.
Hopefully that's better.
Hopefully it's better. It's our first time actually casting in the studio for this game, so we have a little bit of kinks to work out, but as the night goes on, everything should be fixed.
I'm wondering if we can turn our mics down via XSplit there, just to give it a little bit of an even balance, because apparently that's still very loud. So I do apologize if the game goes a little bit funny here. We're going to have to try and work it out, as we said we will. We're trying to work with you guys. Hopefully that's a little bit better, and we're not redlining too much and that kind of sounds. Let us know how it's doing, because obviously this is the first game on this map. We can change it onto the next one. This is only the round of, I believe, is it 32 or 64?
I believe it's round of 32.
It's 32 at the moment. Yeah. So we are going to get into the game. Obviously, we will be seeing these guys going head-to-head. The points difference at the moment is 5. So why don't you explain what that kind of means?
All right, so if yoki can get EnRo Griffins below 5 points, or if EnRo Griffins fall below 5 tickets left, that means they will automatically lose. yoki will win the first map in this best of 3. So, I mean, pretty much, it doesn't really mean much after the first half because of how low the points actually got to. It's more in favor of if you can hold on to 100 tickets or more or something like that. But either way, we'll get back into that in just a second, as we do have already some action happening over at B here, and it looks like it will be taken over the U.S. hands, which is the EnRo Griffins.
Yeah, EnRo Griffins focusing that one out straight away, but it is going to be a battle of this one. Is Lessam just going straight in for the flag, but he's going to go for the more aggressive position, gets tagged down to 15 HP, going to have to prone down, nade spam coming in, but he's locked down the recap, but there we go, the kill then finally comes in for the opposition, and they actually might lose out on that B side, because as you can see, Keed is right up in there, he is not messing around, lovely little spot there, watching the cross towards the back side of the tanks. He's a little bit curious if someone is there, and you can see it's all now hands in, all flags in the hands of EnRo Griffins. No contest yet. They're looking like they want to go towards B, but, straight away, Keed locking down Obes. He was one of the more defensive players. He's not even getting a chance to go towards the B side. And let's see if the US side are going to kind of focus the spawns out here, or maybe we're going to have a nice little bit of a break coming down from yoki.
Looks like yoki will finally get that break here, as they're going to be able to take C back. They had a lot of spawns actually come in over there from that. And now it looks like they want to hit over towards A. And if you think about it, I would imagine hitting outside is probably one of the hardest things to do, since you could be seen coming from so many different angles. But they're going to be working through underpass right now. But no one committing just yet towards this A side, as EnRo actually already have a lot of men over here to hold on to this. And they have been able to retain B, but they haven't been able to take A back just yet.
No, not yet, but you can see Bad for Sure is pushing in the top fragger for this team on the first half here. They will be locking down that A side, so that's going to go into their hands. That's a 2-for-1. So right now, C, they've worked it back for yoki, but they need to break through onto A. Leave B if you want to. They seem to prefer that before, but maybe they just can't get into the groove there. They can't find the kill. And, at the moment, Keed's playing very defensively, but pushing out on occasion. That's probably because they just lost A, and ANC now into the hands of the Russian team. They're going to have to start thinking about how they can switch this around, because as we saw at the end of the previous game, once the likes of yoki get their hands on the site and really lock it down, they're a deadly force to be reckoned with. And I think we're seeing it right now. Nice little double coming in there for Zella, who's just kind of chilling out by C, watching the outside push, and it's working out for them.
And we were talking about yoki before, since the players within the team, that they actually picked this game inside out. They try to find exactly how to control your spawns, which they seem to be doing right now. They have full control of inside, and they're forcing the EnRo Griffins to really work on this outside area to really make anything happen. But we are seeing Gook actually go for B here, but right now they're being shut out completely of points.
They are, but I think they tried to edge in towards the A side as well, but that's just not gone well for them. But they've got a little bit of a foot in the door, but I'm pretty sure that will swing back. Maybe I'm mistaken, but it's all down to this exchange. Who's going to come out the better? I think that's Keed there locking that one down. So we'll be seeing A firmly in the hands of the US side, but will they be able to hold on to it? They've got A and B now. That's a good start for them. They can leave C, maybe lock down the spawns, and just watch them crossing.
Let's see what happens this time, as Lazum heading back towards A. They realize there's some sort of action happening towards that. They're trying to control where yoki are going. He's going to head down towards underpass, head towards C. There's a man in his way, and bite him. Gets that kill, holds that push coming in, and that forces Gook to really work towards C right now.
Yeah, and you can see the ticket slowly dropping away from the Russian side, but it's being kind of contained by the fact that A is being contested. Just couldn't make his way through there, but it's still A and B the ones to be focusing on. It's A that's finally been locked down. That is going into the hands, I believe, of the US side, and it's going to be staying in their hands. Bite Me is just still being very defensive on the C side. This is where we see yoki becoming extraordinarily good. Once they get set up, they know their positions. I've been speaking to Koa. He's telling me, once they get that comfortable zone, they're happy. And let's see if they can hold him to it. Bite Me finds another. That's bad for sure. Down. He's going to know he's going to have help. He spots him out, gets the kill as well. And that's perfect. That is exactly what they need. They're getting a good, strong lead coming in now. Even though they've lost B and C, they need to start focusing on one of them. They can happily Bite Me here and start thinking about where to be aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like when yoki gets their foot in the ground, they get dug in, they can hold on to it really well, as you just saw Bite Me. He was able to hold on a two-man push coming from the outside, and right now,
they're going for B as well.
They're looking for something to happen here. Let's actually check out B real quick here on this free cam, and you can see they're going to be coming from this northern side, but can they actually get the kills they need to open this up? And with all this time they're wasting, they need to make something happen soon.
Yeah, they really need to start moving. It's dangerous though. It's so hard to breach across, and you're seeing them just stuck on A. They can't get the positions they need. They can't get the opening shots. They're being out positioned. They look like they're going to try and head towards that C side. We have the backup coming now. It's a 3-player stack here. They are going to spin that one around. A and C now into their hands, but look, A is now being contested immediately. It's a swing and roundabout game, and it's still very close. Look at that scoreboard.
Yeah, very close. This is probably one of the closest games we've actually seen today, to this day so far. But right now, EnRo not really giving up just yet. We see Bad for sure. He's trying to control A. He's trying to actually take it here, but if anything, he's been causing a lot of distraction, and he's been getting a lot of kills over on the sides. You see him pick up a kill on a Bite Me, and it's really been forcing a lot of yoki's resources over towards his A to hold on to it, and when they're doing that, it allows the rest of EnRo to pick up B, to pick up C, and to lock those ones down.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed to do. They've spun this one around. Lesson going a little bit aggressive there, challenging 3 players at once. He didn't have the backup that he needed at that moment, but you can see them slowly building towards this. C now being contested, as we're just seeing. Wondering if it will go into the hands of the EnRo side, if they can retain this one. I believe they might just be able to do it, but you can see one player still causing havoc from the Russian team. Just really dug in deep. He's got players hunting him down. That was Koa. He will fall, but all the attention was drawn to C. As are most of the EnRo players, B is now open.
And Frantic going to be able to take advantage, especially Naked to come out. Not really going to be anything just yet here, but he is trying to contest this one. He's almost got it back to neutral. He does have it to neutral, so the tickets won't actually bleed in anyone's favor currently. As you see him pick a man up on his back right there. Great play out of him to really lock this site down, and they do in fact get it. So they do have the flag advantage, but they still are behind in tickets by 13.
Yeah, this is when we need to see them playing that really good defensive game again.
Position.
Nice little spot from Frantic. They're just peering across through to look towards that C push. Can he find the players? He knows they're going to be around here. This is the first time we've really seen yoki holding down B, and this was their kind of comfort zone before. And EnRo now thinking, okay, let's leave B. Let's start focusing towards A, but they didn't expect Koa to be there. He's just watching that push from that middle section, and it's paid off. Lesem now fancying his chances. They may know where Koa is now, but will they be able to take him down? He's still in a very similar spot.
Oh my god.
Beautiful prediction from Koa, and Zella with the crossfire coming in. That is why they're dangerous. That is why the points are even. And A and B now being the troublesome sites.
And you're seeing EnRo have such a tough time of getting into any site that yoki is already in, has already dug themselves deep in, and have already gotten in a position they want to be in. As you see Key trying to push in, he's not able to get the kill just yet. And just like that, another man peeks in from the side. It pressures him, keeps him off of it, and they have gotten an advantage in this half so far, 62-53, and they're able to hold on to A and B so damn well that C is the only remaining area, which right now, if you see on the map, no one's even trying to challenge right now out of yoki.
Yeah, and this is a very similar setup now to what we saw in the first half, even though it was very close. They got that B side, they left one player there for obviously the yoki team, and they really pressured EnRo, and they just switched between whichever side they could pick up. We do see Lesem trying a different angle. He's picked up Zella, so it may open at least one viable route. We might see Koa fall now. He's going to have to go into a more defensive posture on the A side and try our way through, but there's a crossfire coming again. They're not allowing these players in. They're perfectly set up, and really, EnRo are going to struggle now to find a route through, and you're seeing those tickets just bleed away.
And they're trying to retake B right here, but just the position out of yoki is able to hold them off. And the real story of the game is look at the both sides of their squads. 50 kills, 28 deaths for Bravo, which is over on yoki's side. 30 kills, 44 deaths over on EnRo's side. And that just really shows that yoki, once they get a spot to really pick up the kills, to really hold it down, they're able to do it quite well. And they're still maintaining A. They're still maintaining B. The rest of EnRo actually are invading onto this A side. The rest of yoki go over towards C.
Yeah, and they got to be methodical about it. One by one, they have to take them down. Bad for sure getting the opener, which did find Keed at the start. But there we go. They've got 2 players now, up and living. We know that Koa's been at the back of the site. Can he do the wonders again? Yes, he can. Zella's down. It's pretty much Koa holding onto this A site now. He's just going to prone down. Watch that push up those stairs. Bite Me going in. Look at this backup. These guys are working this one out straight away. C is the one being contested. They've spawned them back. They've pushed them back. back. And you can see there, Obes doing exactly what Koa's doing. It's not paid off, though. We are seeing the other team of EnRo Griffins breaking through. Can yoki hold on to this one from a distance? The points are so damn low, though.
And the problem is, if EnRo Griffins don't pick up any more flags right now, if they drop below 5 points, they will have lost this first map, and they're trying everything they possibly can. Let's take a look if they're even making any action at B happen. No, currently they are not. They're just going to be holding on to these two, and you see yoki trying to bounce this A site. They're trying to retake it here because they realize if we can grab this, then we will have the game.
Yeah, perfect start for them. Zella not finding an easy way through, trying to spam those nades through the window. Bite Me does get into the site. This could be the turning point. This could be almost game over here. 2 sites now in the hands of yoki. B being contested, however, this could spin her across. Frantic, where are you? He's their defensive man, immediately respawning onto this site, though. They're just wiping them away, but still, 2 players standing on that B flag. Can they get this one back? And look at that crossfire. 3 players triangling them in, and there's no chance. B will be going back, surely into the hands of yoki here, and this, I believe, will be almost game over.
Yeah, they're down to 8 tickets left. EnRo Griffins need to make something happen here. They have to retake something right now, and I really want to see where they're going to go for. And currently, maybe we don't have anyone else spawned in on the map right now.
They can't spawn in because they'll lose a point. It's on 5 points now. It's game over, and well, that's the first map out of the way. Bearing in mind, best of 3 throughout. But this is a very strong showing already from the yoki side, showing that, okay, once we get that defensive posture, once we get that 2-to-1 split where we can hold down our ideal points, they come into their own there. That is their incredible gift, that they're so good at setting up those defenses. I think we saw it perfectly when we saw, the EnRo Griffins trying to get into B. That was where they thought, okay, maybe we can get a bit of a point here. Immediately, though, yoki got a little bit aggressive on the A site, pushed out, tried to challenge. They dropped down 2 players, immediately respawned towards B, went, okay, let's get a nice little crossfire going on. 3 players challenging down the 2 who are locked down by the flag, and there you have it. B's back into their hands, and they can push out from there. And they're just so good at that.
What I really like what yoki did was, it was a little bit weird. Let me try to explain it. Is that they had 1 man out of B, pretty much the majority of the game when they did have that taken. But
Right.
when they realized they could get A and C, they pretty much just left B alone. Like, all right, we don't need that because we can dig into these sites, and I want to show to you exactly why. We can dig into these sites, pick up all the kills we need. As we'll just show the scoreboard really quickly. They can get the kills when they need to. They have the aim when they need to, and when they can pick up those kills, when they feel confident in that area, then they can definitely hold on to that and pretty much make it their own.
Yeah, most certainly. And I'm looking forward to seeing what map they go to next and how they set up here. As we mentioned, it is a best of 3. Whoever wins 2 maps basically wins it. Very simple stuff. I'm sure you guys get the idea of that. And while they get ready, I think we can go to possibly a quick little break and maybe make sure that all our audio settings are ready, because they'll be going to Goldmid Railway. So I'll be very curious to see how they lock that one down. Very close quarters map. Very easy to get good respawns and just, try and push around and be straight into their faces. I can't wait for this.
All right, guys, we'll be back in just a couple minutes. Just going to sort everything out just like Pansy just said. So please don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we're going to have, well, hopefully, for yoki's side, the conclusion of this best of 3 between EnRo Griffins and yoki.
So, welcome back, guys. Hopefully the sound is a little bit better. We've been trying to work on it during the break, and obviously the first map has been done and out of the way, and obviously I think we all saw how close that one, but yoki did walk away with the victory in the end. But a very close game all in all. Their defensive play really paying off them. The early exchange did go in favor to EnRo Griffins, and I'm really curious how they're going to cope on such a close quarters map like Railway is, and if they can do the same thing again by creating those crossfires.
Well, speaking of Railway, let's go ahead and take you straight into there just to show you how this map is going to go down. I didn't set up any of the cameras now that I think about it, but you know what, we don't need those. But let's see what these teams really do, as we're going to have yoki on the Russian side, and we're going to have EnRo on the Chinese side. But let's tag along with Keat here, see what sides they really want to hold on to, what flags they really want to take. And right now he's actually going to go for a pick here on a Frantic. Doesn't get the kill just yet, and he's actually going to get taken down either way. But the squad does end up picking that one up, and it looks like A will be picked up over towards the Chinese side, or is going to be holding on to that one. And you know, we were talking about, you know, Zavod and the places that yoki were holding at A and at C. This map, to me, if you can grab A, if you can grab C again, you can get these great positionings in these buildings to really lock them down.
Yeah, that's the big danger here, and that's maybe where the defensive play is going to come in. We're going to have to see, really, as we do know right now, yoki do have the advantage of the 2 flags to the 1 B and C in their hands. A, you can leave them to it. If they can keep their hands on B and C, hold down that middle road and the long, you know, push towards, you know, in between A and C, then, you know, they might have this one already. They can just, you know, really concentrate this down. And that's exactly what they're doing. Frantic holding down that A road, just going to be putting himself quite far out, just watching the push as far as he can, making the calls happen. And let's see how EnRo plan to break back into this one, because they still want to obviously hold on to A, but it's going to be a minor problem for them. It's, you know, they don't have much to lose at this point. They're going to have to find a way through. They did seem as though they were focusing towards, you know, the C site there, but it didn't really pay off for them, and already fire coming in towards the A area, and we're already seeing EnRo falling down. This could mean trouble if Frantic decides he wants to push.
Yeah, and Frantic, just like I said, he was watching that A road. He's able to pick that kill up, but right now a lot of action happening over towards C, as it looks like EnRo, they want to be able to lock this one down. They will be able to get it here, but what will they lose for it? They do grab C, but will they lose A as Frantic's still there, even has Zeller spawned in on top of him. Going to be able to lock that one down, but now the action actually moves over towards B here, as you're seeing Kawa pick up a kill right there, and going to be able to potentially hold on to this one.
Yeah, and when you have C, the B side becomes so much more obtainable. You can obviously spawn from C, go downhill, you have the advantage, you know, in that sort of aspect, and we are seeing it kind of paying off and coming through to fruition, as we do see yoki really struggling now to keep hold of that B side. They've gone down. They should, in theory, spewing into the hands of the Chinese team, but can Bite Me do anything about it? He's found one, but does he know there's 2 more members present? No, that's Frantic there, just trying to do damage, but at the moment we are seeing a little bit of a comeback coming out from EnRo, and they desperately needed it.
And EnRo, they're pretty much throwing everything they possibly can over towards B, but now they're only finally able to capture that one. But in the meantime, you're seeing Zelle and I believe Frantic again in a 2-man squad work over towards C, lock that one down, and they are just backcapping everywhere EnRo Griffins go. And even with that, even with this 2-man squad that you're seeing, I see even the explosive going to come out there, the rest of yoki are able to hold on to this 5-man squad that's attacking.
Yeah, and they just want to ruin those buildings to make it harder to defend for the opposition. They want to make sure they can get into this one as easily as possible, and, you know, to stop them being able to really lock out C and then hold the cross towards A. So that's how they're trying to make this one viable for themselves. They've got the ideal sites for them, maybe. I'm not sure if they're so keen on A right now, but they're still going to try and hold on to this, as we do see them kind of working this one out. Bite Me doing what he can on the side. He might have to push back in here. There we go. He's going to be doing the damage. Player right next to him. Will he get the knife? I do believe he just got denied at the very end. Is 122 points to 102. Koa trying to do more damage, and at the moment the Chinese team having 2 flags to 1, but they actually could turn that one around.
It looks like EnRo might be able to lock down onto a 3-cap here, as right now yoki, they just can't seem to get a foothold. They're being taken down left and right, but Zelle finally able to pick up one, looking for a second, gets onto Lazem, and that might be this B site taken back for them, or sorry, the C site, if they can grab this one, and he's in a nice little bit of a cheeky spot right there, able to take it from inside the building.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed. Zella, they're doing the real damage. Him and Frantic have been the key players to this point so far, and they're looking for a way to open up the B site to make sure they can reclaim that, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing. They're going to be blowing up the walls, blowing out any buildings, so it's not as easy for EnRo to defend. We are seeing Keed making his way forward. He's come around the back of yoki, and this causes trouble. That means B's going to be back in the hands of the, I believe it's the EnRo side, but we are seeing the respawn coming from yoki towards the C site, so they should have a good push down towards B at least.
But this gives EnRo a chance to set up for this run right now, as Menix actually going to be looking the wrong way. There's a man coming, actually, well, they end up coming straight for him, but doesn't matter, they pick up the kill, and that means this B should be taken very shortly here. A great spread out attack coming in from yoki right now, as they're working towards A and B both equally. yoki going to be going in through that window right there, looking to hold on to B, and they will be able to take this one back very quickly. But what can EnRo Griffins do about that? Where will they respawn? And they have a man in the backside. Menix respawning over towards C, gets taken down, and that was probably a very huge kill coming in for yoki.
Yeah, and the points are all even at this point. Let's bear that in mind. It was a real struggle to come back into this for yoki. They had a great start, but they let it slip. And now with the map more destroyed, they have the ideal site for them. They can create that crossfire and hope they don't get that random spawn towards the back of C, which I think some of EnRo have. You can see Key trying to push in towards the B side. That's not going to happen, but C is going to be contested as we speak. Obs just really trying to keep eyes on from afar towards the A side. He knows there's players there. He's just going to be spying them out on the cross up towards the B side rather than challenging flat out. They're doing the smart play. They're going to probably play for the respawn onto him if they get the opportunity to. He's going to take the shot, but where's Bite Me going to go? Look at these angles. Pixel perfect. 2 flags to 1. They need to start, keeping that ticket bleed going against the Chinese, and maybe they can work this one out.
Looks like the hit will be coming down at C for EnRo here, but they're being attacked from all different directions. Keed, the man trying to stay alive here, gets taken out from the backside, and that might have actually been the attack on C being forwarded right now. However, it is currently neutral, and here we see Gook in another great position. He's unfortunately missing his shots. Finally gets the kill right there, though, and that should be able to hold on to the A site.
Yeah, should is the main word, though. It's so hard. With all these buildings destroyed, you can never be fully secure. And that's exactly what the yoki side wanted to do. They wanted to make it a viable thing in case they got locked out on these points. Right now, I believe they have B and C in their hands. EnRo have the disadvantage, and they're going to have to look back towards B. They need to get this one, into their favor. Maybe focus on a retake towards C as well. That's always a possibility. I find C is a little bit easier to take and then work on B, leaving one player behind, but it's all down to preference. And I think Gook is going to be playing the defensive role, letting the rest of his team play more offensively. But look at Bite Me there. He's just playing the cross player. He's going to be watching that cross, trying to find any easy kills. So you're just denying an easy cross towards the opposition. And you can see Ko splitting down towards the A road. They've got this locked down. As long as those nades aren't going to connect and really throw him out of it, they've got a good hold. This is their comfort zone. This is when they get dangerous. EnRo need to find a way through.
And you see Bad for sure. He's trying to take some high ground here, try to get some spots onto him, but it doesn't matter either way. He's actually going to spot one right there. He is going to pick up be able to pick up the kill on the obs, but I'm not sure if that's enough for them to even take C back, as the ticket bleed is really starting to come into effect here. 88 to 41. He's going to pick up another kill, but they haven't been able to take C again.
Yeah, but they'll get there. They can get there now. They've taken away the main defending players, and they might have a bit more of a chance if he can get this revive and if he fancies it. Not going to go for it. Going to wait for the squad to spawn on him. 2 players against 2 here. This is going to be the highly contested side. They're going to go in from both sides. You can see the flag being swung back. That's going to be ringing the alarm bells towards the opposition. C being contested, A being contested. B's the only safe side for the Russians, and they need to focus on what they want here. They're going to give up, I believe, the A side, focus down towards C, and maybe that's the right option. We can only wait and find out.
Yeah, and we do have C still being contested from both these sides here, but EnRo going to be able to actually not hold on to it just yet. They still have 2 men there to look for a kill or 2. They do pick up one, and it looks like they're trying to fight for C, but this ticket deficit is really starting to get out of hand. They need to pick up some kills. They need to pick up some sites ASAP, and yoki are just everywhere. They're just stopping them from making this happen.
Yeah, and we saw Frantic them pretty much being the pillar of the defense, allowing the other players to rotate around the side, and they focused on the correct side there. They went, okay, let's lock down C and B. That's our best options. Lock them down towards A. Hope they don't get the spawn behind, see if we can keep them within position. That'll be fine, and that's exactly what they're doing. And this is what's paying off right now. 82 to 15. Big point lead coming in for the Russians there. They don't have long to wait now. Koa just mopping up kill after kill, locking down the A road. These guys are doing so good at this moment. Koa just getting a little bit of a glimpse there from Gook, but still 10 points left. This is going to be over pretty damn soon. Bad for sure is just making very little difference. 8 points remaining. This is going to be a huge deficit. Considering the first game was a 5-point difference, this is a big change up. Considering how hard the yoki side did work at the beginning, they're doing the damage. So right now, 2 points remain. I think this is pretty much the first half over. 81 points remaining at the end there for yoki. That is the ideal way to get this one started. Now they can focus on how they want to play the next half. They know exactly what the opposition like to do, and they know how to lock them out. Now let's bear in mind the real factor of this game. Not only are yoki defying the odds, yoki are in 6th, and they're playing against the 3rd position team. So big difference coming through there, and that's going to really start affecting these guys. Hopefully they can keep cool, keep calm, and play smartly in this one. Don't throw it away. You can see they just did so well on the kills as well. Koa being positive, Frantic, Zella, all keeping stupidly positive there, as well as Bite Me. Ope's the only player, on 9 to 10, nothing too bad, and it's not all about kills. It was the positioning. It really was there, and the way they locked down those 2 sites, C and B. They had a bit of a disadvantage at the start. They locked it out, but they lost it very quickly. EnRo started to get the advantage, and they turned it so well. And that was why it's just so good to watch these guys. I've known a couple of these players for quite some time. Koa has all been a tactical genius when it comes to it, and it's clearly showing in this. I was talking to him before here, and even he was like, "Well, if we do well, that's great, but I don't think we will. I don't think we're the the strongest team in this, but I'm hoping that we can do the best we can here because we want to do as well as we can. Obviously, points do add up, and they want to collect them early early on, keep making these impressions, because let's bear in mind, this is round of 32. When they get into round of 16, they'll be facing off against eyeballers. Now, guys in chat, you guys know how good these guys are, and obviously, yoki will know that as well. But let's consider this. It's not just over yet. Maybe, just maybe, the opposition can turn this one around. They have to really try so hard, though. 81 points is a big chunk. Now, I've seen teams do bigger things than this, but it's not going to be easy. They're going to have to work so damn hard for this. It's unbelievable. But maybe they can. As we've seen, when you get that B site, when you get that C site, you just have the advantage on this. You can lock down that cross on the main road. Maybe if you fancy it, locking down the A road as well. You obviously always have a threat coming in from that right side of the mound. That can be a big problem. As you can see, not all players are present yet in the server, but that's the main point. This is the thing that's so such a big factor here, and it shows how they've set this one up. So I'll be very surprised if yoki go for maybe an A and B hold or an A and C hold. I think they're going to go for that, what we saw before. Let me know in chat. I'm looking at you guys there. Let me know your thoughts. Do you believe that they'll go for the same sort of hold, focus on the same sites, try and be that sort of team, keep the pressure the way they're going? Or do you think maybe, just maybe, that the opposition will be able to, maybe work out what they were doing so right in the last one that got them so down? And, maybe that's exactly what's going to happen here. These guys are just setting up, getting those restarts in, making sure the server's correct, making sure all the settings are perfect, because obviously this really does matter. Now, I'm kind of curious what you guys think. Do let us know. Clearly some Eyeballers fans there in chat. And a little bit of a chat about the guns. The one thing that I've noticed, a lot more players running with the AEK these days. Back when, I started casting this, it was all about the Ace-23. But now a lot of the players kind of switching things back up towards the AEK, a little bit more, Battlefield 3 style. I would like to see your thoughts on that one. And is there a Mr. Dogbit in here? And too easy, it was yoki who won the first one, so they are currently ahead. They went into the second map. On the first half, they had the advantage of 81 points. So they're sitting pretty damn well. And you may notice I'm talking a lot. That's because Jason had to, leave me for a second. The bathroom called, and I can't stop him doing that, But we are going to see if these guys start back up. I do believe EnRo lost a player at the end of the last game, so maybe he had to restart and they're getting ready to go. But thank you all the guys for turning out so far. I do want to let you guys know that it's fully damn well appreciated, and I do believe we are ready to go live into this one. So let's get on towards one of these players. Hopefully I can remember the controls. There we go. Got it. And we are going to see who's going to get what flags at the start. So EnRo will be on the Russian side. Look at that. Bad for sure straight away holding that road push, spotting out so many players. And it's not all about the kills. It's all about the spots as well. EnRo have managed to get down the ideal sites for the yoki team, so that could really throw off the kind of equilibrium of the team we just watched claim such a big point advantage. But how will EnRo get back into this one? Nice little mid kind of play coming out from Menix there, finding Zella on the push towards the B site. Does have to be a little bit careful of the A road. They know that they're on A, so they need to be a little bit more careful of this. Hopefully they can play smart here, keep it calm, and we are seeing Menix just keeping eyes on. He's going to be spotting those out, telling Swizz who's going to be coming towards them, and that's such an important factor. Koa there just making the push happen. He's going to be spinning straight down, pushing in, playing quite defensively though. He's not going over aggressive. He knew there'd be a counter push coming through. That's bad for sure going down, and at present it will be actually the team who had the deficit coming in with the advantage this time. 2 flags to 1. The Russian team having the advantage of B and C. But will they be able to hold it? It seems like they're going to be happy holding C, but as you can see, Cohen's such a great position by the B side. He's going to really start, making a bit of trouble and allowing the rest of his side to get back in here. So let's see what he can do. We are also going to spin onto the other side, see what they're doing, see what they're up to. As Keith is the one looking towards that B side, looking to find his way through, maybe using that schoolhouse to find the entrance. A little bit of pre-fire now. He's going to spot that player down by A road, get a nade through, doesn't get the ideal connection, but they're working back into it. And Jason, how are we doing?
Oh, I almost died. Oh my god. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, Lord. Did not mean for that to happen, but I'm back. I'm good to go here. And a great scoreline, as you are showing me, coming in for yoki right there. And I do have to say, thinking back to all the results we've had within the Go for LOL, or it's not Go for LOL, wow, that's the first mistake. Go for Battlefield 4 that we had actually 2 weekends ago, and then Battlefield number 2 that we had come in last week. This map has usually been one of the most decisive maps in terms of scores.
Very true.
Where you'd have like the biggest score lines come in here, and you're kind of seeing exactly why, because you're able to hold on to, for instance, B and C or A and B really well because of the crossing they have to do. There's so many angles to fire from, and it seems like yoki have really made that one work for him here.
Yeah, but at the start it was all EnRo, so it's been a bit of a switch around. We are seeing Bad for sure picking up the kill onto Obes, maybe alleviating some of the pressure between B and A. But at present, the Chinese side of yoki have the 2-to-1 advantage. Where's going to be the switch point? It seems though C will be the point that they'll be trying to get back in, and we are seeing Lessem splitting down to A. That's not paid off. They've got to get the site.
And Frantic, he's going to be pushing in here. I mean, they still had 2 men here. Even if they do lose it, they should be able to take it right away while the rest of EnRo start to push in towards another site here. But Frantic, him and Zella have been that 2-man squad that have really been doing work. You're seeing right there, he waited till the site was completely taken. He waited till people started to leave. And with him alone, that pressure's applying. Isn't going to be able to retake C here. But either way, they just lost out. Actually, no, he won't even take C. He'll get taken down before that even happens, as Cow is the man to really make this one come back in their favor. But you see EnRo, they're able to hold on to this a lot better this time, and it seems like the first team that can get those 2 points down and get in the right positions really lock things down and really start to take the score lines.
Yeah, but yoki seem to be challenging a lot more. They're not just happy sitting back and just being locked down to 1. They always want to challenge, and that's why the points are even at present. 108 to 108. A being contested, B and C being in the counter hands. So A is going to be the defining factor here. Who's going to get the spawn throw? Who's going to get the push? It will be the Russian team. So we're going to see if they can hold on to this one, lock it out here, and get this game, back underway and really putting the pressure on yoki.
And right now, remember, if EnRo Griffins fall below 81 points, they will have lost out on the second map, which would mean they are out of this cup, and yoki would advance into the next round. But either way, they would go home with a couple of points, which we will explain how that works on a little bit later. But right now, Kawa, he's trying to hold on to this right now, and he's looking for a kill or two as he's the only man over towards C, but B is the real point of contestation.
Yeah, and it's all Obes at the moment. He's not going to be able to get the revive in, and that is going to mean real trouble. B will be back into the hands of the Russians, who will keep the point lead. Kirby, and the defensive player, being the anchor of the yoki side, trying to find his way through, trying to get the spots out for his team. He's not going to give his position away just yet. He knows there's a player there, and it's all about how they're going to attack. Oh, he stayed around a little bit too long there. And that's going to be, there's no defensive player left on C. This could mean trouble. This could mean if they want to really throw him off, they could do. But I think that the Russian side, they just play it smart, play it carefully, go, okay, we've got the advantage here. How can we keep it? B is being contested, though. We've got players coming in. We see Obes there holding down the arrow, making it harder for these guys to rotate in. But there we go, another clean sweep. It's so hard for these guys to get back in here. And B is just left open for the taking. Frantic looks as though he fancies his chances. Waiting on a couple of respawns to come through. He spotted out one. Bad for sure will deny the access. Obes is really the only man standing on the site. Can they really put this into the hands at the last second? They need to start making it happen because those points are really adding against them.
Yeah, they're starting to really take away here, and this means that EnRo Griffins can possibly take this one back, as Kawa has been the anchor for the team, just like you said, looking for anyone over towards C right now. And it is being capped over, and they're almost getting 3 cap currently, as you do see. This one man, Lazem, is sitting here inside. No one's even spotted him just yet, but he does pick up a kill. He's going to cap it over. He's going to be taken down, but it doesn't matter. The damage will be done either way. They will get a lot of tickets in for themselves, and that forces yoki on this really bad back spawn onto C, which means they pretty much have to hit B here.
Yeah, they're going to have to. They've been trying B time and time again. The splits have just not been working. They've been they've been really disjointed. The teams pushing from the main road have been there ahead of the teams pushing down A road. So it's not been paying off, but right now we're seeing Frantic just muscling his way through. He's taking that one, going to prone down, try and play smart, get behind the box here, but there's fire everywhere with A firmly in the hands of the Russians. They're just creating the crossfires perfectly, and they're really making it hard work. Bite Me now coming in. He knows there's going to be more fire coming through, but he didn't expect it from the rear, and this spells real trouble.
They realize they're 18 points away from locking down this victory right now, and Kawa is still just trying to hold on towards this C side right here. But look at the cover that EnRo has. I mean, look at this 5-man squad they have. They're not even trying to protect the backside of A because they realize everyone in yoki is trying to come in from this angle, try to come in from this angle, and they're holding everything off. And Keed right now, great position by him, knows someone's over there, launches a grenade, gets a hit marker, but doesn't get the kill, unfortunately. But still, they are locking yoki down so well. Down to 42 tickets so far, and B is finally being contested right now, as we do have Bite Me actually in towards the back side of it. He's sitting here behind this box, and he will get the cap over on it.
Yeah, and let's think how close this is going to be with this cap in their hands. Oh, he's just gone huge, picking up 2 on the point. And with such a close scoreline, that's exactly what they need. But did they have the respawns in on that B site? Frantic now stands on his own. He's got to lock this one out, and they've done it. B and C in their hands. The points now ticking against the Russians. Bearing in mind, if it goes below 81, the game is towards yoki. But can EnRo turn this back around?
They have a great spot on to C here. If they can pick up the kills, that'd be perfect, as Swiss does get 1, but unfortunately not the second here. And C is being capped over, but you're seeing yoki. They're trying to hold on for the life of them, trying to keep them off of this flag as much as possible. They do get the kills. They haven't got the cap just yet. It does go in favor. No, it doesn't. It doesn't get capped over just yet, but they're almost there. They finally get it here, and 85 tickets remaining, 84, 3 more tickets, and it will be, 3 more tickets now. I can't even math anymore. I'm so excited, and it will be in favor of yoki.
and they had to fight tooth and nail for this on 81 points. There's the 80. That's what we were waiting for. And yoki have done it against the odds of the rankings as well. These guys, were down in 6th. They're playing against the 3rd position, and they managed to pull it off. And by no means it was an easy game. On the first map, it was damn close. But you saw just then how hard, and even how, brute forcefully they had to just wade back into this one. There was no clean route. It was no, smooth way back. It was just so hard they had to break through to it. And we are seeing the fact that yoki will be advancing. And, well, Koa, one of the Swedes, will be having to face off against another Swedish team of eyeballers. And that is really going to be a battle to watch. But, my God, I can't wait to see what's happening in the rest of the bracket. With upsets already happening in the very first game we're watching, it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, let's keep in mind, these teams were ridiculously close. Yeah, they're ranked 3 and 6 in the A Series, but look at it this way. Both teams beat Team Refuse. Both of them lost to ESC many times in the A Series as well. They haven't been able to beat that team. They are very similar across the board. You can argue, I guess, 14-8 scoreline for EnRo. You have an 8-2 for yoki. It's a little bit different there, but all these teams are so damn close. If we think back to the first actual Battlefield 4 we casted, it was back in December.
It was a long time
ago. Was it November?
Now.
I think it was even in November.
It might have been late November.
Yeah. There were so one-sided games.
Yeah, there was such disparity.
Now, everyone is just so damn close.
Yeah, very much so. So I cannot wait for this game to get even closer. That was the very first game, so round of 32. We'll be going to the round of 16, not too far away now. And yeah, we are. I do want to see if they've been updated yet. They may not have been, because obviously that game was quite close. So it did drag on for a little while, but I can imagine there may be even closer games, as with the 81-point lead that obviously did go in favor to yoki. That was quite a bit of a one-sided one, but still, let's have a little look back in towards the bracket if we can, and have a little update towards what's going on throughout
hit
this
the right
game.
Buttons.
He hit the right game. All right, the right game. I
I
can't use words. Okay, so at the moment, we've seen UMAV taking down Refuse. That's not a huge shock. I think UMAV have always been a team that can really push the very big teams. We've seen them beating Fnatic. We've seen them really challenging Dignitas, and that's happening time and time again. They're a dangerous team. That's gonna be a very good game to watch. Outside that, Meet Your Makers will be facing off against Exacquo, I think is how I'm going to mispronounce it.
I like that, Exacquo.
Yeah. NB Team Ultra did manage to lose out there, but still, not a bad game all in all. That's not a bad team to lose out to. They're one of the teams that will be joining us throughout this. Obviously, Exertus up against Gamers Connection. Exertus winning over B inside EV. But outside of this, this is quite impressive already to see the likes of yoki beating out EnRo, and I'd love to see the rankings overall of who's going to cause the upsets, because in the round of 16 there's going to be more to come. So guys, let us know your thoughts as well. As we mentioned there, the brackets are quite easy to see. I'd love to get your tweets towards what you think, maybe the finals or semi-finals, what teams are really going to cause upsets. That's what I'd like to see, because at the moment the game's so fresh and still so new that so many teams can come into this and go, okay, we're going to cause that upset. We're going to be the team to take down Dignitas, and it's still possible. The game's not old enough and worked out enough that there's no new tricks to learn.
Right.
And teams like UMAV, time and time again, can cause upsets. yoki can cause upsets. And I want to know what you guys in Twitch chat right now actually think is going to happen towards the finals and the semifinals, which will be tomorrow.
Yeah, and let's actually explain really quickly, just for you for a second, of how this actually works out. This is a cup system. There will be 4 cups, and it's based on points. So if you get first place, you get 100 points, you get 500 euros for your team.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean, you'd be playing anyways, might as well make some money off it. If you get second place, you get 75 points, 300 euros, and it keeps going down from there. But the whole point system and how it works is the top 16 teams at the end of all 4 cups will be placed into groups. Those will be played, I believe, on the 3rd through the 6th of February, and that will determine what 2 teams from each group will advance on into the grand finals. Actually, can be played offline here, I believe, at the ESL studios. I'm not exactly sure. Don't quote me on that one. Not even sure on the date exactly as well. But you're playing for a large prize pool there. And remember, any points you can get, I mean, just participating alone in this gets you at least, I believe, 5 points, gets you that much closer to securing a spot into those group stages.
Yeah, for sure. So I think we're going to head to a quick break and find out what game we want to go to next. And I'm thinking UMAV against Dignitas. Let us know your thoughts as well. Obviously, head over and check out the brackets at battlefield-ems1.com and have a little look there, see what you think would be the best game. Let us know in Twitch chat or tweet at us at They Call Me Pansy and Jay Kaplan, his new Twitter. I did, because I kind of looked at XSplit, but still, we're going to go to a quick break. Do stay tuned. We'll be back in just a moment with a brand new team and brand new games in the round of 16.